everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And it's Tuesday night and you can always find me online on Tuesday nights at 6:30 Pacific with a sketch challenge. You can also find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. So I hope you'll check me out, check out my blog, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be notified. If you're coming in through YouTube to watch, you'll be notified when I go live or when I post a video if you hit that subscribe button underneath the video. All right, it's Tuesday night. I have a sketch challenge for you, and tonight I'm using the Sweet Songbirds bundles from the annual catalog. I'm going to be the first to admit that this wasn't on my radar, this bundle, but it is so adorable now that I have it. It actually was one of the top selling bundles out of the annual catalog so far, which I was surprised about, but it's so cute. Now that I've got it, I actually understand why. All right, let me switch over to my desktop and we will get started. All right, first of all, this is the sketch. So I will post this sketch on my Facebook group page and on Instagram in about an hour. So you'll be able to grab the sketch and play along with it if you miss any of the measurements while I'm live. So your card base, which is the gray, is either 5.5 by 8.5 or 4.25 by 11. Layer number 1, which is the yellow, is 4 inches by 5.25. The blue layer, layer number 2, is 2.5 by 3.5. Layer number 3 is a 2-inch circle, and layer number 4 is a 1.5-inch circle. And then you'll need a scrap for your sentiment. And I've just realized as I'm reading them out, I was going to use an embossing folder and I've forgotten my embossing folder. So I'm going to grab one quickly. So that's the sketch. And again, this will go live in about an hour's time. Hello, Becky. Hey, Darlene. Welcome from Minnesota. Welcome from Vegas. I'm not sure who's coming in through Facebook watching the live sketch, but when you come in through Facebook, make sure you give StreamYard permission so that I can actually see who you are and commenting. Go to streamyard.com/Facebook and you'll be able to give permission so I can actually see. But whoever it is, welcome if this is the first time you're watching a live one of my live sketches. So I'm going to quickly go and grab an embossing folder and we'll come right back. Let's see. All right. Okay, so let me bring in my supplies I have. So let's, first of all, this is the Sweet Songbirds bundle. It's a punch bundle. Hey, Lee. I am a sucker for punch bundles. I love punches. And so this particular punch will punch out this bird as well as these wings and the beak. There is no punch for this little bird and the nest or the branch, but those are pretty easy to cut out. Okay, and some great sentiments. These are so cute. And then the musical notes and the feet. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to use. So I've got a piece of crumb cake cardstock and I've cut this 5.5 by 8.5. And as always, I am going to score it at 4.25 using my paper trimmer. Now, if your piece is 4.25 by 11, you're going to score it at 5.5. And if it's like mine, it is 5.5 by 8.5, you're going to score it at 4.25. And as always, I tell you to fold into the mountain. So that's the raised score line. So that's my raised line. Fold into that. My silicone mat keeps flying. And grab your bone folder and give it a good burnish. Okay. So now I have got a piece of, this is cards, or designer series paper. And this is from the Happy, I think it's called Happy Friends. So cute with the bear and the fox and the owl. It's kind of a shame to cover that over, but I am, because these kind of look like bird tracks. You can see Maybe that's a little better. So little tracks. So I thought this was kind of a perfect designer series paper to use for this card. All right, there we go. So I'm using the liquid glue. You can use Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever your favorite adhesive is. All right, there we go. Now my piece of, this is the layer number 2, and this is 2.5 by 3.5. Now the embossing folder that I grabbed when I was doing it is this one. This is part of the, I think it's called Eucalyptus. And so it's one of the short, like the narrow ones that fits in the mini embossing folder. So I'm just actually going to take it and put it in. It kind of, my paper's just a little bit too long, but that's okay. I've got it in, and I'm just going to bring in my mini and the right platforms. I think these are the right platforms. Maybe not that one. Let's try this one. So this is a 3D embossing folder, or 3D embossing folder. So I have a feeling, oh, come on. If you have a hard time getting your embossing folder to go through, it could mean you got the plates on wrong. What am I doing here? That's not right. Let's try this one. Also make sure you just kind of stagger your plates going through. There we go. Get the plates going the right way. If you stagger your plates and kind of offset them, it will go through a little easier once you get the right combination of plates. There we go. I use my regular size embossing, my big machine, way more than my mini. And so therefore I forget every time I go to do this. Isn't that pretty? This is the eucalyptus. So I'm just going to put this on like this. There's all sorts of things and ways you could do this. You could use cardstock. You could use basic white. You could use embossed instead of designer series paper. And then this could be just a white piece. Lots of different ways. This could be designer series paper, another pattern. But I thought having some kind of plants is kind of cool for the birds. Okay, so now I have got a piece of basic white cardstock that I'm going to stamp my birds on. So a little trick. So if you're like me, when you go to stamp your anything in a punch bundle, like a punch, and you want to stamp these images and then punch them out, especially when they've got different shapes and ones that you're likely going to use different colors for. So I'm going to do my bird in balmy blue and the wings in balmy blue, and then I'm going to do the beak in Daffodil Delight. And so that's, you know, if I go to stamp that, that's really hard to kind of sort out exactly how to align these so that I can punch it out. So take a piece of basic white cardstock or cardstock of any sort and punch out a template. So all I did was take my piece of basic white cardstock and I put it in my punched it out. And this I'm going to keep because this is the perfect template for stamping. So now I'm going to just take and put that on. Now let's grab my stamp. So I'm going to do both birds. So the circles on these circles are going to be the birds. So you don't have to be exact to the sketch. You can use, you know, shapes if you want. They could be flowers, but I'm going to do the two birds as those shapes. And I'm going to stamp those in balmy blue. One I'm going to punch out, the big one, and one I'm going to cut out, fussy cut, because there is no punch. And I've got my wings, and the last thing I need, well, not quite last, I need get my two little punches. I need the feet. I need the musical notes because you can't make a card without those adorable music notes. And there's another set of feet here somewhere. There we go. And I'll need a sentiment at some point once I figure out what sentiment I'm going to use. There's lots of stamps in this. Okay. So we're just going to position our mask or our template on over top of the piece of basic white. And I'm going to grab my piercing mat. This is a photopolymer stamp, and I don't have much padding underneath this. So it always is good to stamp your photopolymer stamps using some cushioning. So having a piercing mat or a stack of grid paper works really well. Now I'm just going to take and ink up my bird. And now I can just take and stamp this through my hole in my template. And I kind of missed that, so let's move this over a little bit. Not sure what I was doing here. Make sure you kind of get it inside the template like that. That's better. So there's my bird stamped. And now, pushing that back, I want to take my beak, and I'm going to stamp my beak in Daffodil Delight. Get it going the right way, line it up with the template. It's always better when you're right over top. There we go. And now I need my wings. Again, I'm going to stamp these in Balmy Blue as one. Just makes it so easy so that then now when I go to punch this out, I can just take and put this piece in my, actually while I have my ink out, I'm going to stamp my other bird. And I'm just going to stamp him right there. There we go. Close these up so I don't get them all over my fingers. So now you can just take and put this piece of cardstock right into your punch. Get it lined up. And punch your pieces out. And now don't lose that little beak because it's little. And then the other piece is I'm going to take and just fussy cut around this bird. It's pretty easy to fussy cut this. Just make sure you kind of guide your paper as you're fussy cutting using the opposite hand that has, so that in this case, my left hand, my right hand has the scissors, but I'm actually guiding the paper with my left hand. Just makes fussy cutting so much easier. You might even find that you like fussy cutting when you kind of get it down. All right. There we go. There's my bird, my beak. Okay, so now let's take and let's see. Actually, I need two beaks. So let's stamp another beak in Daffodil Delight. Somewhere my beak, there it is. And so we can fussy cut this as well, or I can take it and just, this is pretty easy just to kind of position in a little spot here and punch that beak out. There's the other beak. Okay, don't lose that. Went over there. Okay. All right, I am going to take just a little bit of glue and just put a little dot of liquid glue. Oh, there we go, little dot. And put this tiny little pieces. And let's put this on here. And the same with this. Just a little dot. You could use a glue dot as well. But I'm just gonna, I've got my glue open here. There. So there is a there is a spot that's kind of marked on the stamp where your beak goes. So it makes it really easy to position your beaks. All right, let's do this like this. And now let's position wings. I'll use a glue dot for these. So I'm just going to take a glue dot and we will just put a wing on this guy, and we'll use the little wing on this guy. I love the color combination of Balmy Blue and Crumb Cake. Now, I forgot the eyes. There are two little eyes for these birds that are right here. So they're two little dots. And we will just take those. And I've got some memento, tuxedo black memento. And I saw an adorable card. I don't know if that's got one eye. I guess you'll have two eyes. There we go. Adorable card that Kylie Bertucci made and made these birds into Angry Birds. So if you ever played Angry Birds, I never did get into that, but they're such a cute card. So creative. All right, so there's my birds. That's going to go like that. Now, I want to take the memento and I'm going to stamp the feet in memento, and I'm going to fussy cut the feet out. Just kind of feel like these birds need some feet. So I'm just going to take and just fussy cut around. When I fussy cut, I don't worry about getting right up close to this stamped image. Maybe that's why I don't mind fussy cutting, because I'm not absolutely picky about getting too close or having it exactly the same distance. All right. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. There's a big dog that lives next door named Max, and if you can hear that, he barks at people going by. All right. I think he's a bull mastiff, so he has quite a booming bark. All right. We'll see how these feet go. I don't know how this one actually goes on. All right, so I think this one goes like that, and this one goes like that. Maybe. Okay, let's assume that. So let's put, I'm going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. It just makes it easier to attach. So I'm going to put my feet on. Oops. You could use a glue dot as well. Might need to, oh, there we go. All right, and let's put some there as well. Let's see if I can get this positioned. It's kind of got funny feet, this one. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use some dimensionals on the birds. I'm going to put some dimensionals right over top of where the feet attached. Just helps hold those feet on. That. Using up some extra of my my dimensionals are almost gone on this, so there's always extra around that you can just take and use your paper snips to cut. All right, so let's take and position this guy here and this guy right like this. There. Now, the only thing left is if I decide to put some musical notes, and I need a sentiment. So let's do a little note of thanks, which is welcome. No, this one. Dropped it, sorry. Sorry for the noise. All right, and I'm just going to stamp it here, and I will fussy cut this out. And I'm just going to cut this kind of in a rectangle. Trim it. There we go. And we'll put that there. Now, I didn't put, where's my musical notes? Let's do some musical notes on here. There we go. Aren't they cute? Oh, that's cute. Oh, it's funny how you can go from swearing you're not going to buy a stamp set to thinking, oh my gosh, I have to have it. Can't imagine you're like that, but I definitely have those moments. They are darling. Becky, you're right. Just kind of adds just that extra little bit too. All right, so there's my sentiment that I will put there. And the last thing I want to put on the front of the card is these are the new solid faceted gems. They come in, I think this is Mossy Meadow, Pool Party, Melon Mambo. I've used up almost all of the Blushing Bride, Night of Navy, and Balmy Blue. So let's add some of these Balmy Blue solid faceted gems. There we go. Just a little bit of extra color on. And then I have a piece of basic white cardstock that I have cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to stamp some musical notes down here in the corner, just because I think they're so fun. And then this can go on the inside of the card. There we go. What a fun card this is, I have to say. Sometimes I'm never sure. I said this before. I'm never sure how cards, I kind of come in with ideas and not, you know, I haven't made the card before, which is sometimes scary. But this is such an adorable stamp set. So a great way to use up different designer series paper like this one that comes from the Happy Friends. I think that's what it's called, the Happy Friends suite. And then the eucalyptus embossing folder. And then these adorable little birds with the musical notes inside. Cute, very cute. Yeah. Yeah, that was me too, Lynette. Had to have it. I saw some cards and couldn't resist. So take a look at this bundle. If you haven't signed up, if you live in Canada and you are not a demonstrator, and maybe you're looking for a demonstrator, I have my virtual launch on Saturday, and you can find the information on my Facebook page and Facebook group. You're welcome to join. I partner with another demonstrator, and we have a separate Facebook group for our launch. And that information is on my page and group. So you're welcome to join us on Saturday. Just request to join the group. We will be showing you, we're not showing you the sweetest songbirds, but we will be showing you lots of amazing new products and projects from the annual catalog. We have so much fun when we do our launch. So there will be all sorts of demos. We do have a make and take kit that we've sent out already. If you live local to me, I do have some still on hand. I live on Vancouver Island, and if you haven't got yours yet, it might be still coming in the mail, or you could reach out. I have some on hand that you could pick up. And there'll be lots of prizes, of course. So maybe you'll join us, and that would be so much fun. let's see, it's Tuesday night tonight sketch challenge. So Thursday night I am doing a mystery challenge. It'll be a color challenge this week, so you can stay tuned. I will be posting the clues for the colors at about 9:30, 10 o'clock Pacific on Thursday morning. So grab your supplies, use the colors, and make a card along with me. And then I won't be doing my live on Saturday because of the virtual launch, but I'll be back live on Sunday at 12 noon. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.